Today, I'm building a Lego Batman diorama for a contest on rock bricks where we have to build something related to Christopher Nolan's movie. Some time ago, I already built a scene, a small Tumbler scene from Batman Begins. That was the beginning scene when the Tumblers were jumping off the sort of car park. I'm going to build today the end of that scene where the car jumped through the waterfall and enter into the Batcave. But let's start to build right away. So I'm not going to give you a full instruction of this because this is anyway not a very solid build, and also it doesn't fit minifigure, the wheels don't turn, so this is barely a display model. So here I have the base structure. I'm going to use a few of these inch plates that are not in production anymore, and they're very good to switch the direction of the studs. So here I'm going to build the main body of the Tumbler. This is connecting at the back with this jumper because at the back side I swap from a 2x to a 3x to have then this exhaust at the back to where I can add the flame, and we have some nice big wheel. And now they are working, but then there's going to be a little bit of stress on the part later on. I'm going to connect everything on top again with some of those inch plates, and this should help to keep the structure together nicely. You can see I already have some wedge plates over here to give an interesting shape. Over here, because I have these jumpers, I had to come off a little bit with these sort of rail pieces, these modified plates. I have another one on top, so I can do the same and then complete and close all the gaps over there. Here I have these angle studs, those sort of minifigure stand kind of pieces, so that I can connect a few more of these wedge plates, and I can angle them a little bit in an interesting way to create the back side of the Tumbler. This Tumbler, of course, is based by the one from Batman Begins. There is a huge Lego set, a $250 set, but of course, here I don't have that kind of money to afford to buy that one. So we're going to build a small one that anyway is going to be bigger than the one that I built in my first vignette. We're going to compare it again later. Here at the front is the tricky build. So I'm using this sort of pinchy thing that comes from a very old set, the Robo Guardian, and I'm going to slide this through because I want to use this part to sort of divide into the windscreen at the front. Now, this is a bit the most difficult connection of the build. So I need to connect these plates over here on the side at the right height, like that, and then slide these wheels inside. So until everything is connected, it is very flimsy. But hopefully once I find the right spot, then we can press a little bit and everything should be quite sturdy now. Of course, here I need to adjust a little bit. These wheels are not going to be able to spin. So of course, I don't recommend you to build this to play, but it's a nice display piece. This one at the back, they still work. Now, on the side, I have two sub-assembly with some flag pieces. A few slopes, a few details in yellow, a few tiles on the side. Pretty simple and straightforward. This is going to connect to the modified bricks over here. I'm just going to push it through and then I can close the flag to have a very nice shape over there. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side, like so, and then close the flag. And now we have a very interesting shape of the Tumbler. Now the only thing is that it's a little bit too thin, I think, at the bottom. So I have another structure over here. Plates and tiles. I'm going to build around this yellow part, push everything nicely in, and now I have beefed it up a little bit, so it's now a pretty thick build, and I think is a very good build. Even though I cannot fit a minifigure, it fits the scope very well. By the way, if you want to build a Batmobile, I think there's on Amazon now 20% discount, the 89 Batmobile, which is a pretty cool set. Now, here I'm going to add a couple of these trans clear slopes because I need to have this Tumbler breaking into the waterfall of the Batcave. So the idea here is to build something in a sort of diorama kind of thing, something like this Emperor Throne Room. This one also on Amazon, 20% discount. I will put the link down below. And this is what I came up with. Along this build, this video, I'm going to sorry about the camera, I just want to adjust it slightly. Along this video, we'll put some images and some videos from my vlog for the members of my channel. I will have a link down below if you want to check it out. They already had a sneak peek of this build. Anyway, this is a 24 by 24 base. Initially, I built the base and I built the frame of the waterfall. And I started to work on the rock work a little bit. Then I realized that the biggest problem was actually the waterfall. I didn't know how to build it. And I didn't have enough plates to brick build it. I have a lot of these tiles, but I don't have the plates. So what I use is lightsabers, this sort of power blast kind of thingy. I'm using trans clear blue garage doors. I think you can kind of see from here. These are all garage doors that I put sideways. Some are connected at the top, some are connected at the bottom to create a little bit of more interesting effect. And I also have this trans clear support that usually are used to support and not be seen kind of thing. And then, of course, I work a little bit at the bottom, adding a little bit of sort of bubble and extra pieces of water because the waterfall is crashing down. Over on the side of the cave, nice and very simple rock work. I just add many different kind of pieces and just a couple of plants added on both sides. And like in the scene from the movie, there's a few like sort of trunk pieces with no flower, no greenery. On the back side, I have built the road that leads into the Batcave. So I have this road, you can see here the place where the wheels will run. I'm using reddish brown and I use all the dark brown that I found in my collection, including a few of these pagoda kind of roof pieces, fairly recent, fairly new. I think they work quite well for this terrain. Around it, to make it look a little bit wet and muddy, I'm using dark green. Also, this one I don't have many in my collection, but I managed to work around it. You can see I have a lot of these like slopes with a quarter cut, and because I have so many of those, probably was some on some pick-up brick wall. Then I use them a little bit throughout this. Here also I added a few little bit of vegetation over there. I can add a bigger bush here on the side. Now, of course, I need to add the tumbler, the Batmobile, here into the waterfall. So I'm going to add this support at the bottom. It's going to connect over here, and this will allow me to have a slight angle to make the car look even better when it comes through the waterfall. So I'm just going to go there, push it down, and give it a slight angle, and here we have the effect. You can see I use also some of these trans clear minifigure stand angle studs to make it look like the water has been broken by the tumbler, and I think this creates a very, very cool effect, the motion effect of this tumbler going through the waterfall. Very, very interesting. Let me know what you think about this, but I have a little last touch to this build. So here I wanted to create a logo because I don't have any printed tiles like in the official Lego diorama sets. So I have this, I don't know what is this exactly, this Batman accessory that is going to connect here at the front to sort of give it a Batman logo and make it a little bit more finished. Let's say the final touch. Now the comparison between this build and the one that I did, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, it was of course very much smaller in scale, and you can see again that my building skills has much improved over the years because I built a lot, and also because I managed to collect a little few more parts to allow me to then create something like this. I hope you like this build. If you like it, please consider to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And also go check out the link down below. I have some affiliate link for Amazon. That's also a way to support the channel. But anyway, comment, like, subscribe. That's always good to do. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see some other interesting build, I recommend you the Force Perspective build that I released last week with 2 medieval builds and some very interesting photography kind of tricks. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.